to Katy and Brian's Music Corner. I'm Katy.
I'm Brian.
And on today's first episode ever, we're going to talk about Barbara Lynn. This gal right here. Look at this badass.
Barbara Lynn, yeah. So Barbara Lynn, if you don't know, Barbara Lynn is a singer-songwriter and guitar player. She originated from Texas, and she's just really amazing because she, at a time when females were hardly having any control of their career at all.
Yeah, image, songs, you name it.
Yeah, in the early 1960s, she was writing her own songs, playing guitar really, really well.
Yeah.
On her own recordings, and just an all-around badass. And probably her best-known song is a song called "If You Should Lose Me," which was released in 1962, and it became like a jukebox hit, and just became a really, really, really big song. In fact, Aretha Franklin went on to record a cover of it, which says a lot. And this is actually an album by Barbara Lynn that we both love a lot. This is called "This Is Barbara Lynn," and she actually does a re-recording of "If You Should Lose Me" on this album, but she also does a bunch, like there's 12 songs on the album, and about, I think, 10 of the 12 songs she wrote.
Get it, girl.
Yeah, all by herself, and it's just one of my favorite albums of all time. I know it's one of Katy's favorite albums of all time. This is an album that we recommend to a lot of our friends, a lot of other musicians who maybe don't know about Barbara Lynn, and we're recommending it to you as well because it's so great. So try to get your hands on this. This is actually a reissue, a repressing of it, so you can easily find this, online or wherever.
She's one of those artists that when you hear her, you're like both surprised and confused, and maybe like a little upset that you didn't know about her before that point.
That's such a great way to describe her.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. It's like how do I not know about this person?
Yeah.
How is she not
a household name?
Yeah, how is she not as big as like
Otis
Redding or Carole King or like just a major musician songwriter from the 1960s. And by the way, so "If You Should Lose Me," which was her big hit, is a great song, but she has songs that I think are even better than "If You Should Lose Me."
Lonely Heartache. Did she write Lonely Heartache?
I don't know if she wrote Lonely Heartache, but I think she did. But it's amazing. I can definitely tell you there's a song on here called "Until Then."
Oh, that song's so good.
"Until Then I'll Suffer." So look this up. You can find it probably on YouTube. "Until Then I'll Suffer." It's amazing.
It's so good.
And she wrote that. She also wrote a song. It's so great. She's just all around amazing. And in fact, so we don't want to gloss over the fact that, so she's a guitar player, by the way, and she plays guitar left-handed. I also play guitar left-handed, so I immediately relate to her in that sense. But Katy relates to her even more, and maybe you want to show them why.
So the first time that I had ever heard of her, and like, I would say for both of us, it came to as a big shock that we hadn't heard of her before, because that's music. That's a decade of music. That's a style of music that we both consider ourselves to be fairly well versed in, just because we were exposed to that music and we fell in love with it from a really young age. So I remember you showed me a video of her, and I remember one thing stuck out to me was her white Telecaster, which she was playing left-handed. I'm not left-handed, but I fell in love with her so much that I actually went out and I was looking for a new electric guitar, and I went out and I bought myself a Fender Telecaster.
Yeah.
Because of her, because she is such a badass. We'll link the video. She's shredding. She's crushing it. That's
a great segue into talking about this video. So I did a little research and found a little back history of this video. So this is a video you can find on YouTube, like Katy was saying, and we'll have a link in the description. And it's from a show called The Beat, which was done in 1966. So it's 4 years after Barbara had her big hit with "If You Should Lose Me." But it was hosted by this amazing guy he was a radio DJ. His name is Bill Haas Allen, and he's got a voice like this. But he's so cool. So I don't know exactly if this is true, but there's like a few of his episodes of this show on YouTube, and in each one he's showcasing amazing African American talent.
Yeah.
In the early to mid 1960s when that just wasn't really happening on
it
TV.
Didn't cross the airways like that.
Yeah, and he's showing artists that were a little bit under the radar, like Barbara Lynn, and people of that caliber. And on top of that, there's a house band that's playing on this show as well. That's also, they are
So good.
amazing. You've got to watch this video. So the video to look up on YouTube, we will have it in the link down below. But the thing to watch, like Katie was saying, is Barbara Lynn playing guitar. She uses a thumb pick.
Really cool.
Which is really cool. She's doing so many great things on guitar, and it's just so influential, and the band just sounds great.
And like, she's playing guitar, she's playing chords, she's also soloing. So many of these now. I think that there is a common misconception that like women, we're seeing a lot of women playing guitar now, and it's like more talked about. A lot of women did play guitar back then, but they didn't necessarily rise to the success or get the notoriety or were really given the opportunities to showcase their talents. So that's what makes Barbara Lynn even more special to me, because that's another thing where I get like, I'm so amazed and I love it, but then I'm also so angry at the same time, if that makes any sense, because I wish I didn't have, like growing up, I was playing guitar, so I didn't know that Barbara Lynn's existed. I didn't know, I mean, I think the only female guitar player I really knew of at the time was Bonnie Raitt. That was it. Yeah. That was like, you know, writing songs and like playing guitar and then soloing as well and like doing things beyond what we kind of saw like the 60s sort of singer-songwriter trope. And so that's like one thing like for her that really stands out is like, wow, like the barriers that she had to go through, not only being a woman, being an African-American woman, being a woman that writes her own songs, being a woman that plays her own guitar and having to advocate for herself to do that. She's just a badass.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything you just said. And obviously you can relate to her in a lot more ways than I can, but I can relate to her as well, just in the sense of being just a songwriter from a songwriting standpoint. The way she writes songs, her songs are so well crafted, and her melodies are so memorable. And then also just from being a guitar player too, the lines that she plays, like Katie was saying, she's just really great. Now, I know we're praising her endlessly, but she is just so influential to us. In fact, so much so that, so Katie and I play in a band, and when we play shows, almost every show we played for the last like 4 or 5 years, we always play If You Should Lose Me. Katie sings it, plays her white telly. Yeah. And it's just a song that, and by the way, it's a song that when we play it... I just
put that together, by the way. I know that sounds insane because we've been playing it for the last like 4 years, but like, I just put it together that I'm playing that song on that telly. I mean, that's pretty much going to do it for this first episode on Barbara Lynn. So if you're looking for new music, old music but new to you, be sure to check her out. And if you are into what we're doing, this is going to be something that we do frequently. We're going to just talk about artists and music that we love, albums, artists, whatever. So you just want to click that subscribe button, and then if you want to click the notification, it'll kind of make you aware of when we do upload some new stuff. Yeah. That's pretty much it. So, yeah, thanks. Be well. Take care of yourselves. And see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.